So Microsoft is one of the entities that we work with. Another one is TechSoup. Now, TechSoup is a little bit, notice how I did that? A horse of a different color, right? See a different color?
Mhm.
See what I did there with that? That's
Yeah.
called creativity. Anyway, so they're a bit of a horse of a different color. Why don't you talk about TechSoup a little bit and what they got going on?
Well, TechSoup does a lot of things with a lot of companies. They've got, I don't remember how many, 500 products. TechSoup's marketplace has over 500 products from over 100 companies. So they deal with hardware, software, help desk services, training. They do a lot of webinars. They have some cloud services. They even do some hardware and recycling stuff. Um, uh, they have a
So,
lot of local partners.
right, when I think of Microsoft, that's kind of product or single point solution based. When I think of TechSoup, I almost think of it like a clearinghouse. Like this is a
Right.
one-stop shop for many different solutions because you can go to TechSoup, for example, and find your Microsoft solutions, but then you can also go there and find your Adobe solutions and other software tools that are name brand and might be needed by your business. But that TechSoup integration kind of takes it to the next level where they also have things like help desk capabilities, which we don't really want to talk about here.
Right. Well, another piece of the
But
puzzle is that TechSoup, in my experience, has kind of been overwhelming for users because there's just so much there. It's hard to kind of get your arms around all of it at once. So they do have some consulting services that are helpful, but it's really good if you have a full-time person that's your kind of your IT guy kind of in your corner working for you. And I think that's where we come into play because we
right,
can provide that assistance that you need.
right. Maybe we flip back and forth between these because great segue into NetV Pro and some of the things we do there. Of course, the capitalization is off on these. I don't know who in the world did these slides, but anyway, but that said, one of the things like we talked about with TechSoup that can be overwhelming is when you get into the things like help desk training, cloud services, some of those things that are more human related. So when you start thinking about leveraging those types of services, you may be better off to have a service provider like NetV Pro. And I don't know, John, if you have anything to comment on that.
I do. Larger companies, and I'll include TechSoup in this, have a tendency. You have a tendency to kind of be lost, especially for the help desk side, because they're just relying on notes they have. Think about calling Dell support sometime and try to get answers from them. It's difficult because they're working off of a checklist, and they don't really know you and they don't know your environment. And that's kind of where NetV Pro really shines because we take a personal interest in our clients. I have, I see something coming in from a client, I can almost tell what's going on just based off of the limited information I get in an email. And I already have a good idea what the solution is by the time I pick up the phone and call them, which we do. We call people. We don't just operate off of email like or some support forum like some companies do.
I think
Really,
that one of the
some trust
things
there.
in my experience is when we think about TechSoup, they're very strong, probably in the software space,
That's their
very,
biggest chunk
very
of the
strong,
puzzle. Yeah.
right? And I actually have another slide in here to talk about hardware a little bit later. So hardware and software are probably where they do a lot of stuff. Help desk is a capability they offer. Might be a little bit of a challenge because of being in far-flung locations, right? And not really knowing but something is better than nothing. I think another space is training is a great resource for them to be able to provide and help people with generalized things like Office 365 training and security, those types of things. They have an inventory of different training services available. And these other things are there and available, but are not necessarily sweet spots for them.